Welcome to the Cubby Jaxon Show. Again, I am your host, Cubby Jaxon. This is Cubby's Den. We got a really good show lined up for you, too. We do have a plethora of football. I've been digging around for about a week now, trying to get all this football energy going and get things started. And I got a couple political stories I want to get to first. And it won't be that long. I know none of us really wants to hear political shit, but we got to do it here at the Cubby Jaxon Show because we need people to understand what's going on in the world. So, again, being here. Yeah, we got a situation in Georgia. We got Kathy Hochul back in the spotlight again, destroying American lives. As always, we are here with the beautiful Mama Bear.
Hi, happy Saturday to everyone.
There you go.
Happy Saturday to everyone.
Well, it seems if I turn you down quite a bit, it makes my life a lot easier. Kidding.
It's a big week, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day. I'm excited. Wore my red shirt just for the.
You got me doing the boogie dance because it's Valentine's. Yeah, we're gonna get that going.
I even made my drink pink.
She did too. Bless her heart. Yeah, we got. So anyway, let me get rolling here on this squatters report from Georgia. So over 1,200 homes in Atlanta have been transformed into either an illegal strip club or a brothel. Yeah, you're good like that. So squatters have taken over 1,200 homes plus in Atlanta, Georgia, and are terrorizing neighbors with loud parties. One home was even turned into an illegal strip club. This is a symptom of lawlessness that has gripped the country in recent years. And to make matters worse, laws often favor the squatters, making it extremely difficult for homeowners to get rid of them. If this is allowed to continue, the problem will only get worse, obviously. This could come to a bad end very quickly. Authorities in Atlanta would be wise to deal with it before people start taking matters into their own hands. And I got a little clip for that. And remember, stay tuned, man. We got a really good show for you. Mama Bear put together some really cute shit for the Super Bowl. I got some facts for you, but we're going to play this. This is from Channel 5. I think it was in Atlanta, but yeah, we're going to play this little clip for you.
Tonight, authorities are cracking down on squatters in the city of South Fulton. Fulton says since the pandemic, there have been an exponential increase in the number of people who unlawfully stay in a building they don't own or lease. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight for Fox 5 News at 5. I'm Tom Haynes.
I'm Alex Whitler. Now, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office has partnered with South Fulton Police by deputizing them so they can perform ejections, not evictions. And yes, there is a difference. That knock is a squatter's notice. It's time to leave.
People are entering their properties, they're moving in, they have no lease or they have no proper lease, and essentially they're living for free on people's properties.
Of course, that means no pay for landlords, but it can also include property damage and illegal activity. City of South Fulton leaders say people who live there have been vocal with their complaints.
There's been times where there are wanted persons in the house, unknown to us. We've recovered drugs, stolen weapons. So, typically the way the process would go is they would come on out, we tell them what's going on, and they leave, but anything is possible when we're doing these.
Typically, county law enforcement ejects squatters. They can't evict them because that would require an actual lease agreement. So instead, they give that knocking notice and clear properties.
Yeah, it goes on a little bit more, but you get it. I mean, anybody that's ever known a squatter, they're just mooches, dude. That's all they do. They take advantage of the weak, and some of these landlords are just left defenseless with nothing they can do. And then they're busting out windows, destroying walls. I mean, you see some of these hoarders, landlords ain't going into them homes either. All right. So Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, is fast tracking a proposal that would allow illegal immigrants to take American jobs. And the article goes on to say New York Governor Kathy Hochul is trying to make it easier for illegal border crossers to get jobs. This is not the first time she has done this, but this time her efforts are much more expansive. Illegal immigrants in New York are already get free housing, they get free meals, they get free debit cards. Now they just launched that $53 million deal for illegal immigrants as well. And if you do the numbers, you divide that 53 million by the illegals that are already there, it comes out to like $100,000. So, they're getting $100,000 credit cards, prepaid credit cards, which I found just fucking annoying. I mean, how does that not annoy people that live there in New York? So, what's next? They're going to get more benefits as well. They're already getting free health care, free doctor visits. I mean, it's just endless. You know who doesn't get free health care and doctor visits? This guy. That's who doesn't get it. Governor Hochul has prioritized, modernized, and state workforce and eliminated red tape, and she has instituted a series of reforms to achieve that goal. A spokesperson for Hochul said in a statement, this initiative was not yet been implemented, would offer temporary employment opportunities available for anyone who could legally work in the United States. And as we were talking before, they got right now in Los Angeles, they're hiring illegal immigrants for police officers.
That's scary.
That's pretty creepy shit too, man.
They don't know anything about these people, where they came from, their intentions.
They don't care. They don't care.
Wow.
Dick Bergen, the whatever his name is, from Congress, he tried to do this thing. He put this bill on the floor so that illegal immigrants could join the military if they pass a physical. You know, they got 29,000 Chinese that came in here that they're aware of, and they're going to put them in the military. I mean, you got to have some common sense here at some point. So last news update here. So John Kerry, the climate czar that tells everybody, goes over to Saudi Arabia and Iran and tells them they have to cut down their oil production. Yeah, how's that working out for you? So John Kerry is facing oversight investigation, a lawsuit over secretive office meetings with climate activists, and the House is pretty upset about it, man. So the climate czar, John Kerry, is leaving his job with Biden administration, as we reported. He's excited. He's exiting the job he works for with Joe Biden's re-election campaign, but hopefully they won't get tossed out of their jobs when they vote in November. But there's news that's not good for Kerry, and I wonder if it may have anything to do with him heading for the exit doors. The House Oversight Committee has launched an investigation into Special Envoy for Climate John Kerry, who frequently is meeting with climate and environmental activists. And it looks like the lawsuit's going through. I mean, they're really investigating him. And Comer demanded unredacted documents and communications related to Kerry's collusion with the leftist environment groups. Now, whether that digs into Antifa and a couple other things, I don't know, but it's looking like it's going to be pretty intense, man, if you're John Kerry. So Comer was looking for particularly a meeting at the kitchen cabinet. Comer said these meetings with leftist groups went far beyond normal briefings and raises questions regarding conflicts of interest involving SPEC staff ties to these groups regarding climate finance investments.
Always about the money.
Always about the money. So, yeah. So Dean Phillips also shames us for pretending Joe Biden is okay. And Dean Phillips is the actual Democrat that's running against Joe Biden right now. And he's determined that the old man shouldn't be there. One interview, most interviews, he says he loves him, and then he'll turn right around and say, you know, he's not competent enough to be there. And this, they wouldn't do any of the Democratic primaries for this cat either. He was trying to get in there, man, in Iowa and Nevada, and they're just not letting him in, man. The DNC, man, is just not letting him in. So President Joe Biden froze up for an uncomfortable long time after forgetting the name of Hamas. Fortunately, a reporter was there to straighten him out. This was the day after he recalled his recent meeting with former French president, who died in 1996. And if you just saw recently on the news too, he's still doing this thing, man. He's wandering around. He couldn't remember what month, what year his son died. He goes on and on about Bo, and God rest his soul. He's ex-military, and you know, we love our soldiers. But Joe, man, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, he keeps saying how he died in Iraq, you know, in the war, and he died like 15 years later in the hospital with cancer. God rest his soul. You know, is what it is. So yeah, Democratic presidential candidate Dean Phillips has weighed in on the video, shaming all of us for pretending that everything's okay. And that's pretty much how that went down.
It was pretty sad to see some of those news reports and listen to Biden try to weed his way through that. You know, he got upset. I just felt uncomfortable watching it. It just very cringy.
You know, we talk a lot about it, and I think the problem for me is like Jill's responsible for this too. She's an accessory to all of this shit. You know, I think if it's your brother, your uncle, or even your own dad, and you know there's some mental disability there, why on earth would you push this man to go to be president so half the world could laugh at him? Or at least half the country. Most of the world's laughing at him, but you know, I think the whole situation.
Yeah, you need to be their protector at that point, you know, and that's a sad situation to watch someone go through, but yeah, putting them up to do something like that it's just disgraceful.
Yeah, it's definitely elderly abuse. I mean, I would call that elderly abuse too. All right, Mama, you want to take off on this? Or you been rounding up for Valentine's Day?
Well, Valentine's Day is Wednesday, and Cubby and Stacy have a show on Wednesday, but I won't So I won't be here. So I thought, well, I'm doing my Valentine's today.
Yeah, we have Mr. Landris as my Wednesday co-host, and since Carolyn won't be here on live doing that, then she has to get this out. Yeah.
So are you heartbroken? You may find help on your healing journey with a dash of humor and pettiness by naming a cockroach after your ex.
Wait. I just got to say this. This is an awesome story. If you've never heard this, you have to listen to this story.
So, and it'll be fed to an animal at the San Antonio Zoo. So it's a yearly fundraiser that they do that has become very, very popular nationwide. So the zoo is bringing back the Cry Me a Cockroach, a viral tradition, giving donors the opportunity to symbolically name after their exes the roaches, rats, and vegetables that'll be fed to the animals.
Yes, for you watching, you got to wait for the video.
So to be part of the global sensation and exterminate your past and support a noble cause, the Cry Me a Cockroach fundraiser. So there's $5 donations, $10, even up to $25 donations, and that all goes, to the animals. And they have raised quite a bit of money with this fundraiser that they have. So I have a really fun video that I found about it. So I won't name any of, names, but there's a cockroach that I'm thinking of.
All right, here you go. You got to watch this. This is hilarious. Karen's in there.
So that's through the San Antonio Zoo. And actually, the fundraiser has brought in more than $225,000 since its inception just in 2020. So there is a great way to support the animals and get a little bit of, therapy for yourself at the same time on this wonderful Valentine's Day.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
It is. That's a good story. We're going to throw a shout out to our sponsor real quick, Gator Glide Slick Bottom Coatings for anything marine. It's really easy to apply. It's very easy to touch up as well. This is the stuff that goes on the bottom of your marine apparatus. And what they do is everything. They do canoes, jet skis, airboats, canoes, bay boats. They do just about anything. Don't get stuck without it. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is slicker than possum piss. You can reach David Ward at 863-633-8300. He is the man in charge here in Highlands County, and it can be shipped very easily. So again, that's David Ward, 863-633-8300. And if you tell him Sean sent you, you could possibly save up to 2%.
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
I love that.
Possibly.
So that's awesome that he sponsors, though.
Yeah, that is good. He's a good guy. He's a very good guy and very, very good at what he does. And this stuff is just absolutely genius. We're gonna dig into some football here because there was a time there for about 4 years I didn't watch football. I the whole BLM Antifa thing took off. NFL started putting BLM in the end zones, and I think it just turned off a lot of people. And we were going to go see a game this year, and tickets were like $300 a piece, man. I mean, with just drinks and beer, it was $1,000. I don't even know how people are affording to go to these football games. Honestly, I really don't. So we're going to start off with some Kansas City action, and I got a couple photos here. So is it going to be the Swifties for the Super Bowl, or is it going to be the crying Mahomes? Hey, what do you think? I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But we got some good stories here. So I'm going to play this story, and this is about Patrick and Brittany, and very nice folks. We watched we watched that real life thing with him. It was him and then the quarterback for Buffalo. And so we watched. It was interesting. So we watched a little bit of it. So I'm going to play this clip for you real quick.
I mean this when I say it. I think if I didn't have Brittany, I wouldn't be in the position I am now.
I remember talking with him like, oh, like who's going to be our new quarterback for high school? And he said, well, I think I'm going to be. And I looked at him like, what? You play quarterback?
Brittany and Patrick Mahomes met as teenagers in Texas before the fame, fortune, and scrutiny.
I was not prepared for this.
It's kind of hard to be prepared for this.
Yeah. At such a young age, we were in love, and I loved him with all of my heart. But, you know, I didn't expect it to skyrocket this soon and us kind of just be thrown into the fire like this.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it, being thrown in the fire.
That's a good way to describe it. So Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes says being a father has really shifted his perspective on life and football. And on Sunday, Mahomes will be playing his fourth Super Bowl of his career, now 28 years old, has been a starting quarterback for 6 seasons, reaching the NFL AFC championship games in each of those years, which is very impressive. I don't think there's too many quarterbacks that have done that I can recall, 6 AFC championship games in a row. Although we all remember the Buffalo Bills with Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Willis, still probably the Bruce Smith. Damn, sorry about that. But yeah, so they got the 4 Super Bowls in a row and lost all 4 of them, but still a tough team, man. They were a tough team.
Well, I was hoping my Lions would be in there, but they're not. So, you know, I've been a Kansas City fan, a secondary, even before Taylor Swift, to the Lions. So since my Lions aren't there, I'm going to root for Kansas City. And yes, it is fun seeing the whole Travis and Taylor. And I like Brittany and Patrick.
And we said before, too, we don't understand all the static. I read some articles that Taylor Swift's like a CIA operative and all kinds of shit, man.
Please.
And, you know, she's just a woman trying to have fun, man. I mean, if you're going to bitch about that, maybe she just might do that. So, you know, we want to just keep Taylor calm, man. Keep her calm.
Yeah, I'm glad that she's found happiness.
I think so.
A lot of these stars, you know, their career just overtakes their whole life, and then they end up kind of sad and alone. I'm really thrilled for her that she has found what seems to be.
My God. Okay, so we're not turning this into a Swiftie show.
All right, the end. Back to football.
Yeah, so over time, Mahomes has gone through experiences which have helped him grow both as a quarterback and a man. Version of Mahomes who hoisted his first career Vince Lombardi trophy after Super Bowl, I don't know, Roman numerals, I have no idea. The first one is now a different person and a player than he was back then. Mahomes attributes his evolution to fatherhood. I think you learn a ton of being a father and a man. You learn how to be patient, Mahomes said this week ahead of the Super Bowl. And it's a very good story. And his parents were very supportive, too. We all know that his dad, you know, ran into some legal trouble earlier, but Patrick Mahomes' parents, Pat Mahomes and Randy Martin, Patrick's parents were married in the late 90s until their divorce in 2006. They were very proud parents of his younger brother, Jackson Mahomes, and loving grandparents of Patrick's children, Sterling Sky Mahomes and Patrick Bronze LaVon Mahomes III. What a nice name. LaVon, baby. LaVon Mahomes. Patrick and the Chiefs are set to play in the Super Bowl on February 11th in Las Vegas. But nearly 1 week before the game, Pat was arrested for a DUI. And according to jail records, he was booked in the Smith County Jail in Tyler, Texas on February 3rd, where he faced charges of DUI the 3rd time and was held at a $10,000 bond. According to her website, Randy grew up in a small East Texas town in Troop. And there she attended the same local schools from kindergarten all the way through high school. Randy noted her bio, humble, tight-knit town. Her parents made her the woman she is today, and that her siblings and parents still live together in that childhood home, which I thought was a really great story. Pat is originally from Lindale, Texas, and was a powerhouse athlete during his years at Lindale High School. Per Tyler Morning's Telegraph, in the late 1980s, he was a former athlete in football, basketball, and baseball. To this day, Pat still roots for the Lindale Eagles and keeps with the team by reading the local newspaper. And yeah, man, he was a pretty good player back in the day. I went and looked at some of his stats. He wasn't too bad. He did pretty good. Pat was also an MLB pitcher from 1992 to 2003. And he played for the Red Sox. the New York Mets, the Texas Rangers, and the Chicago Cubs, and also the Pittsburgh Pirates. He also earned himself a spot in the Sioux City Carnies Hall of Fame. So that's a pretty good tale, man, there with the family and the history. Shame about the DUI.
The athletic apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, no. And that's why we wanted to do a little bit on the football today. It ain't really so much about the game as it is the family. So, yeah, his dad got busted for the DUI, but he was a great athlete. Like I said, man, he played for 5 Major League Baseball teams, and, he's in the Sioux City Hall of Fame for what he did. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and they seem really supportive. So I hope he can get his, life together, because that.
Yeah. So again, what are we looking for? We're looking for the Super Bowl. So this is we're talking about the Super Bowl. Yeah, it should be a good game. So the quarterback Brock Purdy pretty much took this league by storm since he was a rookie, and we got a picture here of him and his family. And pretty good looking group right there, man. So San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy took the league by storm in his rookie season after leading the Niners to a division title and an appearance in the NFC Championship game with his impressive performance the first year as a player. He worked his way up to the Associated Press 2022 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Conversations earned third place in votes. He enters year 2 in the NFL as the leader of the 49ers quarterback and the 2023 captain. Brock's the real deal, head coach Kyle Shanahan said. And I believe that's Michael Shanahan's son that used to coach the Denver Broncos. He knows how to play, and we've just got to know our team better, and he'll keep getting better as we go. Before he declared the 2022 draft champion, the 22 NFL draft, Purdy broke school records while playing for Iowa State University, and he was a bit of a badass in Iowa State too. So Purdy has the most wins of any quarterback in Iowa State. He went to a 30-17 record, and he started 46 games, which I thought was pretty impressive. And he leads Iowa State's record in passing yards. He threw for over 12,000 yards, 81 completions, 993 completion percentage, and 81 touchdowns. I mean, that's not pretty bad for a college kid, man. His accomplishments at Iowa State were recognized, and he was named first-team All-American Big 12 twice. So
pretty impressive for such a. I mean, he's only been in the NFL 2 years, and now he's a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid team too.
Good for them.
Yeah,
good for him. He has time, though. I'm still rooting for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and again, like we talk about the Chiefs, I mean, is it going to be a Swifty championship, or is it going to be tears, baby, just tears? Yeah, we're just having a fun show today. We just wanted to whip a show together and have a little fun, because we talk politics way too much, and I just wanted to get a couple of stories in the beginning and roll right along with this.
You know what we're going to be doing before the Super Bowl, though?
Oh, my God. Hopefully taking a nap.
No. We're going to be watching something super fun that I'm super excited about.
Oh, yes, you are.
So I don't know if you want me to talk about that.
Oh, you just roll on with it, baby.
So it is
Here we go.
20th anniversary of the Puppy Bowl. I love it. I'm so excited.
You can't help how adorable this shit is.
So Puppy Bowl 20, the 20th anniversary of Dog Fest in Mutt-Size Football Stadium. It's living up to the hype as the most puppiest Puppy Bowl ever.
Let me play this clip. Here you go.
You wanted more? Here you go.
It's game time on Sunday.
With more rough, more fluff. Making this the puppiest Puppy Bowl ever. Puppy Bowl 20, Sunday, February 11th on Animal Planet, Discovery, TBS, and True TV.
This message.
How adorable
for the first time, there'll be adorable canines in vital non-player positions. So they've never done this before, so this should be interesting, including assistant referee Whistle, who joins Dan Schlocker, the one-time NFL referee who's been judging the contest for the past 13 years. So all of these animals are up for adoption. It is a wonderful way to advertise them, and there are so many people that want to adopt these cuties after this. So
sure.
Yep. So I have a couple pictures of some of them, but there's going to be 131 puppies there from 73 shelters. and rescues across 36 states and territories. So, and actually this year also includes a new feature, the Puppy Bowl Hall of Fame, which will have 4 previous puppy players returning to the game. So I had some pictures, but I guess they're not there. So that's okay.
I can't find them in the software. I'm sorry.
But what?
My bad.
So the Puppy Bowl offers viewers a fun way to see the cute puppies run around and play together, scoring touchdowns whenever they take a toy across the end zone. However, the main reason of this show is that it's put on every year is to help raise awareness for pet adoption. According to the ASPCA, approximately 6.3 million companion animals enter U.S. animal shelters nationwide every year, with 3.1 million dogs and 3.2 million cats. Unfortunately, approximately 920 shelter animals are euthanized each year. So that's just terrible. Get your animals spayed and neutered, please.
Sure. And they should. I mean, you absolutely should. If you're going to be a responsible pet owner.
Yes. So the Puppy Bowl showcases available puppies and kittens up for adoption and ready for viewers to send in applications.
Yes.
It's also a way to remind viewers to adopt a pet at their local shelter if watching the Puppy Bowl sparks their interest in owning a pet.
That Puppy Bowl is just awesome. Not everybody loves the Puppy Bowl.
So one more thing, they said, we don't want dogs that are show dogs that are sitting there with their trainer.
No.
We want to see them in their puppy glory. Part of that is to show what puppies are doing in their true state. They're playful, they're curious, they're gonna get in trouble, they're gonna do crazy things, and from time to time they're gonna score touchdowns and really impress you.
Puppy glory.
So I would have loved if Jaxon could have been in the Puppy Bowl. So he ate many a shoe.
Yeah, that's our puppy's name, by the way. We have 3 fur babies, but the newest one is
yes, and a couple sunglasses.
We gave him my last name.
So anyways, I'm super excited to watch the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
And then the game, of course.
She's more excited about the Puppy Bowl. So we got a couple more clips I want to play here. So Brock Purdy was talking about Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick was talking about him, and it's good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and play the first clip is Brock Purdy.
What an honor to go up against Pat Mahomes. He's, I think, one of the best in the NFL and in the world. So to have an opportunity to play against him for a Super Bowl doesn't get any better than that. What an honor to.
That's a pretty good clip. And you know, Brock Purdy's done really well. The San Francisco 49ers are obviously the favorite in this game, and they're playing really rock solid. The defense is solid, the offense is solid. And I think if Kansas City plays well, if they can just hang in there till the end, they're going to have a shot. But then, you know, you say that about them, and then they can score 14 unanswered points like that. I mean, that's just what Mahomes brings to the game. So this is what Patrick had to say about Brock Purdy.
I mean this when I say it. I think if I didn't have Brittany, I wouldn't be in the position I am now.
Oh, man.
Great job in these last 2 years that he's played. I haven't got to play him yet, but he does a great job extending plays. He does a great job making the throws, and he's a winner. I mean, I saw that. I didn't play him when he was at Iowa State, but when he was at Iowa State playing against my Red Raiders, he was winning. And I mean, he's always been a winner, and that's what it takes in this league. It's not always the flashy plays. Can you go out there and win? And he does both the flashy and he wins football games.
Yeah, you know, I like Patrick Mahomes. I like them both very well. I also like the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. Again, I was saying earlier, there was 4 years I didn't watch football. I was so pissed off about the BLM and Antifa in Seattle and Portland. I just started getting into the politics, and when the NFL started putting the BLM flags up and putting them in the end zone, I got fed up. I think a majority of the people did. But, you know, the kids work hard, man. These college kids are playing great, and now the college kids are getting money, too. They're allowed to sign deals. So I think more power to them and their family, man. If they're able to do it, right? It is the American way.
Yeah, and I'm not, you know, the football, the halftime show. I haven't been too impressed with the halftime show in many years. But from my understanding, whoever it is, I forget his name, is going to be doing he has 3 minutes to do a tribute to Toby Keith, which I'm really impressed that they worked that in.
Yeah, that is good.
I'm interested to see it because of that.
See, there's guys that like to see the blood and the guts and the beating on the gridiron. And then there are people that like halftime and puppy bowls.
And the snacks.
Yes,
I bought my jalapenos today to make my jalapeno poppers. So
yeah, that's what's going down. The jalapeno poppers, the chicken wings. I might even go get. I was gonna get some ribeyes today, but I think I'm gonna live with some live with some chicken wings. And moving on with the football story. Where is my picture? So they got the crew that they got doing the Super Bowl this year is led by Carl Sheffers. And he's the head of referee Super Bowl 57. Following the official crew announce, I'm going to put up the picture here. So it's him and I don't know the guys' names. The rest of the line judges. Well, these guys are hard-nosed, man. And the article that I found. So we went through some of the Kansas City. We went through some of the San Francisco. And I just like pulling this up. So is it going to be a Kansas City Super Bowl, or is it going to be Kansas City tears, baby? I love doing that. I don't know what it is. I do this a lot, but I love just doing that. And then, of course, it's bad boys. What you going to do? Yeah, Mama Bear's rooting for Kansas City. I'm rooting for the refs. But back to Carl Sheffers and her crew. So Carl Sheffers will be the Super Bowl referee for the third time in the last 6 years. The NFL announced the 8-person officiating crew for this year's game is led by Sheffers. Sheffers and his crew called 214 penalties this season, and that's the most of all officiating crews, and their 244 flags were tied for the second most in NFL history. And there are going to be some penalties. These guys call penalties, and I just hope if it's not flagrant enough, they just let them play. I mean, people just want to watch football, man. I think we're all getting tired of the whistles and the bullshit. And she ain't saying shit. So we're
I don't know much about that, all of that. He tries to explain it to me during the game, and I have learned so much about football through Cubby. But
should I give you the grill right now, live on Facebook? How much is a touchdown, baby?
Oh gosh, 6.
How much is a field goal?
1.
That's an extra point. How much is a field goal?
2.
Keep going.
3.
She's got it. We're covered here, man. We're covered here for tomorrow. So, yeah, that's about all we're going to do on the football. I got just a couple more political stories.
I have one more story on the
football.
Well,
yeah, I know. I want to do this because doctors, I don't know if you guys been following the Biden thing. So, like the DOJ released a statement that he was basically too senile to press charges with this hidden documents all over the place. And I don't know, man. To me, it's just the whole thing's just effed up. Because, you got classified documents at his house, in his garage, at the Penn Station, got him Chinatown. This dude's got classified documents all over the place. While Hunter's got access to them. And the people at the Penn Center where they found the documents, that's owned by China. And they pay Biden $1 million a month, or a year, I'm sorry, $1 million a year to pay him to be a spokesperson there to come in. The guy doesn't even show up. He doesn't even know which fucking direction it is. So he's taking money from China there, too. And we go on and on about the China thing, man. As I've said before, the whole reason he's in there as president is so that they can make more money. That's the job. So he opens up the back door. China's selling, boatloads of fentanyl to the cartels. The cartels are funneling them in through the southern border. They're making $1 billion there. And then they got to keep the war going for them because China's selling weapons to Russia and Iran, and they're making another $1 billion there. And, what's the answer? Electric cars and fucking windmills. And guess where all that comes from along with the batteries?
Let me guess.
Wait, say it.
China?
Yeah, and they're making another $1 billion there. But anyway, moving along. So a doctor called for Biden to take a mental competency test after a scathing classified documents report that something isn't right. And this is the Hurt report that came out by the DOJ. And good news, I got a bigger laptop. If you haven't noticed, my tablet, yeah. So I was having such a hard time reading that little tablet, and with history of dyslexia and other fucking issues, I'm trying, man, to get this show to be successful. And what we need the most is just likes, shares, and subscriptions. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, X, and YouTube, and right now Rumble and YouTube and Facebook are what I'm trying to target the most because I want to get the word out. So if you guys have Facebook, YouTube, or Rumble, go give the page a subscription. You can look it up simply by typing in Cubby Jaxon, Jaxon. Simple enough. So the Hurt report was released Thursday, assessed Biden too senile to be prosecuted over his wrongful intentions of classified documents, noted the commander-in-chief. Did not remember when he was vice president and did not remember even within several years when his son Beau died over 2 days of interviews in October. And, I've mentioned this before too, like every time he has a discussion with somebody, he talks about his son dying in Iraq, or he talks to these Gold Star families and says, "Oh, I feel your pain. My son died in Iraq too." The guy died like 16 years later, from cancer, which is just absolutely heartbreaking. I'm a cancer survivor myself. And, and as much as I dislike Biden and Jill, especially, I mean, anyway, my condolences to them for the loss of their son. But Jill's a whole different subject for me. I mean, the chick's a gash, dude. I mean, if you have an uncle or a relative, we've had relatives with Alzheimer's and dementia. And I think the onset of this happened long before the push, Obama and Soros and everybody was pushing Biden because he was the big hope. And I think there's just something, he's not the only one with mental problems. When you want to put somebody with this kind of disability in their frontal lobe and into office, and the world's going to laugh at him. I think Jill's an absolute accessory to the crime with her husband, Joe Biden. And I hope that, I hope that she gets punished somehow, because could you imagine having an uncle or a father or somebody with Alzheimer's and tell them that they have to go into clerical work or work at a desk, and everybody's going to laugh at them anyway, and they do that and the whole world's fucking laughing at them. So the article goes on to say something isn't right, and this is the her report from the DOJ, and something isn't right, even if it's minor, it must be explained to the public. Dr. Stuart Fisher, a primary care physician at a nursing home in the Bronx, told the Post, "I don't know how this man can have anything more than a mild schedule," added the doc, because the more he pushes himself, it's difficult for an 81-year-old man's body and mind to respond. And he's dead on point. I mean, I've had back surgery. I've had cancer. I work for 4 or 5 hours. I'm freaking exhausted. And the guy's taking naps all day. He gets up, he walks around the White House, and then there's rumors coming out that he's absolutely taking painkillers and other narcotics throughout the day, allegedly. But that's pretty much the report. I've heard it from multiple sources now that I've been snooping around at. So Republican Ronnie Johnson, he was the physician to both Barack Obama and Donald Trump, and a member of the White House medical unit under George Bush. So this guy, everybody knows who Ronnie Jackson is. He's been through the ringer there quite a bit there at the White House. Told the Post that if Biden clinches the Democratic presidential nomination, he should 100% have to submit to a mental competency test before the general election.
I agree.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And the problem, I mean, we both had family members this way. Mm-hmm. And I mean, how do you expect? I mean, first of all, let's just ask ourselves, would you do it to one of your family members? I mean, there's absolutely a problem with Jill. I don't know if it's you want to think that she wants the best for her husband. She wants as much success for him as possible. But this has been going on long before he got in office. And Jill's absolutely an accessory to this bullshit. They split the country. They do party voting, and they knew it didn't matter who they put in against Trump, that they were going to cheat and win the 2020 election, allegedly, because I have to say that now. And, the whole thing is a setup, man. The whole thing is a setup. And Jill should just feel horrible. That's why she's always holding his hand and leading him off the stage like you do me.
Well, I was surprised. Well, I am surprised that he made it through this 4 years. I am just completely.
Well, he hasn't.
Well, I mean, that they haven't taken him out in these 4 years. And to have him go again for another 4.
Yeah, he's not going to make it.
What it symbolizes to the whole world is we're weak. I don't. It's horrible for him.
Well,
it's horrible for our country.
Yes.
It's time to retire. Go have, your last days by the pool.
And there's still 9 months left. I mean, I don't know how the guy's going to get through this, man. I mean, he's already he's been wandering around on stage for 2 years, the better part of 2 years. He's been on vacation almost 2/3 of the time that he's been on vacation, over a year, and the time that he's been in office already. I mean, if that doesn't scare the shit out of you, that your president would rather go take naps and go to the beach than fucking work. I mean, this is Biden's schedule. Okay, he gets up about, 7 in the morning. They have tea and coffee, right? By the time he gets up to the Oval Office, it's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Thousands of people have already died overseas, right? So 9 o'clock, he's in the office shuffling around. They come in, have him sign a bunch of papers. By noon, he's laying back down, right? And then 2 or 3 o'clock, he gets up, he wanders around the White House a little more, signs some more papers, have some ice cream, and then he's watching a movie, and he dozes off for 7, and then he sleeps for 12 hours. This is what he does on a daily basis, according to the sources and the programs that I'm reading. So, Jesus, God help us all. And It was funny. I clicked it over to MSNBC the other day. Don't laugh at me because I generally get the articles online. I don't like to watch any of that shit. These people just disgust me. But Rachel Maddow suggested that the president isn't too old for citing as the president isn't too old for the presidency, citing evidence the fact that he rides a bike. And I heard it and I started laughing. I was walking across the room. I actually heard it in my mom's room. And I thought, well, let me go check that out. So I found the article here. And it says, during an MSNBC segment Thursday, host accused Biden critics of ageism after the 81-year-old commander-in-chief confused two foreign leaders, referring to the Egyptian president as Abdel Fattah el-Sisi as the president of Mexico. So he confused the president of Egypt for the president of Mexico, and he does this on a regular basis. And like I said, it's been going on for 2 years. So co-host Chris Hayes added, if someone says you're too far to the left, you can tack back to the center, but there's nothing you can do about old age. And then again, Maddow chimed in and said, yeah, but he rides a bike. And I thought it was just funny because, he does ride the bike and then he falls off the fucking bike. Kind of what he does. Poor old man. Again, I do some Biden bashing. I do. And I feel so bad for it afterwards because it's not his fault. I mean, he's reading a script. He doesn't know where he's at. He's on medications. He's taking painkillers. The old man has no idea what he's doing. Absolutely what he's doing. I'm going to tell you what hurts for me. The worst part of this whole fucking thing, nobody else is going to get a foot in their ass because Biden's going to take the blame of it. Or Kamala Harris. And then these other people that are around him that think they're calling these shots should definitely be held responsible for whatever the hell they're doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just terrible. And so we're going to do this other we got this. Okay, so we found this, and this is going to be the pick for Super Bowl. And this little guy is going to make the deciding vote. Just a mess over here.
So, yes, the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. The Clearwater Marine Aquarium's Nicholas the Dolphin has made his pick for who will win the Super Bowl on Sunday. Nicholas swam over to the glass where the logos for the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers, and he used his rostrum, I guess that's his nose, to pick the 49ers to win the game. So that, lots of different zoos have different fun things of animals picking who will be the winner of each game. So that's always exciting to watch. So the Clearwater Marine Aquarium did pick the 49ers. So we'll have to see if Nicholas was right. So I am not sure if he is or not. So, but we're excited to see it. And, lots of different zoos are doing different types of animals to make their picks. I've seen some turtles and, they put the food out and decide who goes where. So that's always exciting to watch. So we'll have to see if Nicholas was right. So for football, though, I'm excited about the snacks, of course. So, we didn't order wings. I guess around here you have to pre-order them or else you're just out of luck for getting those wings. So we'll have to maybe go and get some somewhere else, Cubby. But so that is the Super Bowl fun. We're going to watch our Puppy Bowl and watch game, eat some snacks. So it's an exciting day tomorrow for sure. Get the drinks on.
Yes, that is the plan. Way to roll with that, baby. We just had a complete disaster over here.
I don't know exactly what happened, but there was some chaos.
Oh, my God. My boom mic fell. All of my lights fell. Everything fell. That was a great recovery. Oh, I'm winded, man. I'm absolutely winded. Oh. 45 minutes into the show and it turns into a train wreck.
So, well, just as February 2nd has Punxsutawney Phil, the United States will have an early spring. So, zoos across the country, the Cincinnati Zoo, their famous hippo Fiona chose the 49ers as well.
Yes.
And in Maryland, Harry, 1 of 2 miniature Mediterranean donkeys, chose the 49ers. The Raymond Gifford Zoo, their 2 elephant calves, chose the Chiefs to win this weekend. So I'm all for the elephants. You know, I love elephants. So, and then at the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, tiger cubs were given 2 boxes, one decorated for the Chiefs and one for the 49ers.
That's right.
But the results were inconclusive. So we'll have to see who wins, but it's always fun. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, we're not going to waste our day watching football. Why not? This is fun. We need some fun in our world and in our life, you know?
Sure. We absolutely do.
So, Super Bowl, yay.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Yeah, we're having a good time here today. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna do we got some queso going, we got some wings going. What else you got going, baby?
Jalapeno poppers and just some regular chips and dips and drinks, of course. So we're not ones to go out and watch the game somewhere. I'd rather be at home enjoying it here, away from all the people that are out there drinking and then trying to drive. So when you're out there, make sure you're being responsible and not driving. Get that designated driver and have your fun. I heard about some people that were like having a house party and like 3 people froze to death outside a Chiefs game.
Yeah, I heard that
after doing
too.
fentanyl-laced cocaine.
Oh, man.
Stay away from all that stuff, people. Just have fun.
Yeah, you got to stay away
Have
from the
fun.
drama.
Be safe.
Yes, I agree.
Good
Oh, my
Lord.
God.
Freezing to death outside and the cold does not sound like a way to celebrate the game.
No, it don't. It's rough up there, man. It's tough out there. So yeah, my last story I want to do here real quick. So Tucker Carlson may get sanctioned for interviewing Putin, and the Tucker Carlson interview with Vladimir Putin. I watched the whole thing, and it was a pretty good interview, I have to say. And so Tucker Carlson's interview with Russian President Vladimir Putin has been the talk of social media and non-traditional for establishing news. This even before the interview has become available to the public, which again, I watch it. So conservative Americans especially should be extremely curious about Putin's take on a variety of things. And the UK said they were going to sanction him from coming through there. I don't know if it was flights or what. I don't know what they're about. The UK is just a freaking disaster.
I guess freedom of the press is dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much. I enjoyed you today. Thank you.
Well, good. It was fun. I like the less news, more happy animal, football, fun parts of life. That's why we balance each other so well, Cubby.
Sure. And that was the plan, too. We want to do a couple political stories and then spend some time on some football and some animal stuff because it's Mama Bear here on Saturdays, and that's just what I'm forced to do.
Yeah, when your other co-host is here, you all can, you know, talk all the politics you wish, you know. But I appreciate that I got to get a little shout out for Toby Keith and do that.
Yeah.
What did I call this segment? The more you know, or did you know?
Did you know?
So I may make that a regular Wednesday thing since I'm here anyways. I live here.
Yeah.
I might as well have like a segment.
She's in charge of the lights, by the way. That's her job.
Not tonight.
Anything else you want to say before we call it a day, darling?
No, just have a great Sunday and have a great week, and I'll see you next Saturday.
Well, as always, we appreciate you joining us for another show, Cubby Jaxon. We'll catch you Wednesday with Stacy. Again, thanks for joining the Cubby Jaxon show. I hope you had fun at Cubby's Den, and we'll see you Wednesday with Mr. Stacy Landris. And remember, I'm not wearing pants.